Rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Inshallah, today we will try present a topic about science in the Quran. And the title for this short talk will be A Branch in the Universe. And as we go along, it will unveil and it will make more sense why this title. So we would also like some interaction from you. So there are some images that we will show sometimes, and we may ask you to interact. And for our viewers on YouTube, let us also mention that this is being broadcast as a talk especially for the AQRT Canada. So Salaam alaikum to our viewers as well. So in science, we have these questions that are often asked. How big is big? For example, we look at the sky, we see the stars, we see the universe. How old is old? How bright is bright? How small is small? And as we go along this talk, it will be a part one and there will be another one. We will try cover some of these questions. So now I would like to ask you, what can you see? So you may put on your mic and answer.
A branch with a root.
Yes, a branch. Okay, so it's quite easy, especially with the title. Okay, so now we will move on. And now what can you see?
A tree.
Now we can see a tree. So do you see that this tree is connected to what we were seeing before? There was a branch, right?
Mm-hmm.
And now what can you see?
Many trees together.
Yes, so we can see one tree or we can see many trees. But also what we got to remember is there is the ground. And when there is the ground, what happens? Now let us see what is next. And now what happened to the trees? Where is the tree? So if we look again at this picture, it was taken on Earth. This was actually taken in South Africa. Sorry. And now we are seeing the whole globe, and it actually is showing the continent of Africa. So it means these trees must be somewhere in this picture, even if we are not seeing it.
Yes.
And then there is the moon as well there. So
Mm-hmm.
this is a picture from space. And now if we go on again, now what about the Earth? Can we see the Earth?
Yes, very small.
So these are our planets of the solar system, and this is the sun. And then we see if we count one from the sun, first, second, and third is the planet Earth. And don't forget about the branch. It's also on this small Earth. And the trees, they are also there, even if we cannot see them. So if we move on, now what happened to Earth? Where is the Earth? So if we look at the picture on the right, the top right, it actually indicates with an arrow. Now this arrow is indicating where our sun is. So meaning where the sun is also where the Earth is. And then where the Earth is also where these trees were. So they are all still there in this slide, even if we cannot really see it. And this is our galaxy. So it's full of so many other stars like our sun. And each sun, each star is surrounded by so many planets. And now we have this picture. Can you tell me what can you see?
Many galaxies.
A lot of galaxies.
Yes, I heard a
Many
child's
galaxies.
voice as well. Can we hear what she's saying?
What did you say? Say it loud. Oh, galaxies? Yeah.
Galaxies. That's a very intelligent child, because we have also presented this in schools, and very often children will just say stars. But if a child can recognize that these are galaxies, now this is really a good news, because it means our children are being well educated. And obviously, yes, these are galaxies. Every dots that we see in this diagram, they are not just stars. So also when we look in the sky, sometimes we think we are seeing this dot, this light is just a star, but actually it's a galaxy. And what is a galaxy? Right now, I will just shift to this whiteboard to give you an idea of, if we have one star and then one galaxy. Our galaxy, for example, has 100 billion stars. And to understand what is this billion, it's actually, if we write 100 and then the billion, we have to put 9 zeros. So million has 6 zeros and then billion. So this amount of stars just in one galaxy, just in one galaxy. And how many galaxies we have in this picture? In this picture, it shows, this is a picture taken by the Hubble telescope. It shows 10,000 galaxies. But actually, from the study, what we find out is there are 1 trillion galaxies according to latest data. Now, what is 1 trillion? If we have to put this in zeros, so it will be 3 zeros makes 1,000, 3 zeros make million, 3 zeros again makes billion, and then 3 zeros again. And this is the number of galaxies. And remember, if we say just in one galaxy, there are 100 billion stars. Now, so many zeros. Please do not get scared. This is just to show how this little earth, where we are, it is not alone. It is surrounded by so many other creation in space, which we do not see with our naked eye. And most of these we cannot even see with telescope yet. But we are aware that they exist with the help of research. So now if we go back to our slides. Now where is our galaxy in this drawing? The one we showed earlier. This was our galaxy, right? Now where is it here? Can you see it?
Yes.
Yes? It would be so cool if we could see this galaxy, but unfortunately the camera that took this picture, it does not have a selfie. So it could not take a picture of our own galaxy. So what we did, we do a Photoshop and then we added our galaxy there. And now you can see our cute little galaxy there. And this is another picture of the same galaxy. It's just, again, the arrow is there to show us that we are still part of the picture. We must not forget, however small we are on Earth, but we are part of the picture. And in this galaxy, this one star is the sun and the small dot is the earth. So we made this picture by Photoshop just to be able to remind us that we are part of this big picture of so many zeros that tend to scare us. So we do not want to be scared with these zeros. Now, why? Why are we talking about all this? Why is this important to us? As we said in the beginning, this is going to be a talk about science in the Quran. And throughout the slides, we showed some verses, but we did not go into it. Otherwise, it will get very long. But we hope you are paying attention to this. And now the key verse is saying, Allah hu nurul samawati wal ard. And this is read all the time in the zikr, that this nur is found in houses. This is the nur we are talking about. What nur this is? This is the nur of the universe. It is the nur of the earth. Now, from science point of view, what we understand by nur, it is not just light, like the light in our house, like the light of the sun. But nur is also every nur that we receive. For example, the heat from the sun, infrared, is also nur. The microwave, cosmic microwave background, from which we get all this information, is also nur, as well as the microwave that we use at home. So we are surrounded by this nur. And now we will get into more correlation between what Quran is saying and what scientists have found so far. We are still a lot to find. There is this verse where it is speaking about creation of the universe, and there is this picture which shows what we call the expansion of the universe. Now, for expansion of the universe to happen, there needs to be a force. There needs to be a force behind. It cannot just happen by itself. And according to physics, there is an acceleration happening. It says the acceleration. We will not go in all the technical words, but just the picture give you an idea how everything is expanding. It looks like as if someone is blowing a balloon. At the beginning here where the light is, someone is blowing a balloon, and then it's growing bigger and bigger, and here it's very big. And this picture of these galaxies that we saw is taken from this angle. So when we take it from the right, then we see all these galaxies. So what is happening actually? When we're taking a picture, we're seeing the past. For example, when we look at the sun, we are seeing it 8 minutes ago. We are not seeing the present when we're looking at the sun. So this is something to think about. And now there's this dark screen. What happened? Did the slide stop? So what happened actually in the beginning, there was nothing. In the beginning, there was nothing. There was not even me. There was not you. There was no one. And then what happened? And then there was what we call the Big Bang. There was this immense light that suddenly appeared. And from this light is when creation began. Now we saw that the verse is saying, Allahu nurul samawati wal ard. So everything actually started with nur. And scientists also find the same thing. And now if we look at this expansion of the universe again, we see that there are phases, there are different phases. And Quran speaks about creation in 6 periods. The Arabic word yawm is used, which we translate as periods, because some people say the creation happened in 6 days. Then someone will say it means this is not scientific. But if we look carefully, the word yom can also mean period. And here we can see there are different periods in which creation has happened. And now there is this question, but I will You do not have to answer this question. How old are you? But just think about it. And remember, we are on YouTube, so I will not ask you to answer this question, which is quite private sometimes. So let's try analyze how old are you. To do that, we have to start a stopwatch. And in the stopwatch, we start the time 0 and we want to measure as we grow as a baby, we become a child, and then like Isa, and then we become like Maryam, and then we become bigger, like the cute little girl who's replying, and we go bigger and bigger, and eventually we become an adult. So now say we are measuring how old we are from time 0 to the time now. Now what will we see is in the very first few seconds, there is this inflation of the universe. And whatever we are made of, we come from the universe. And then there are all this information, which is very technical. I will not go into this. I will just point a few interesting one in there. This says that at some point there was hydrogen. Now what hydrogen is, we know that in our body there is water. The main constituent in our body is water. And what is water made of? It's made of hydrogen. Now this hydrogen, in the beginning, there was mainly hydrogen and helium. And this is what is described in the Quran. At the start, it says water. But if we go to the Arabic word, it's ma. And what does ma mean? We don't know exactly. Maybe water, but maybe more than that. And also we saw the verse before that speaks about smoke. In the beginning, there was smoke. So here it says fog. So it's just a different vocabulary, but it refers to one and the same thing. And then finally, when our solar system was created, and then the earth was created, and then we came into being. And someone may also ask what happened before time. We know that there is awwal, there is akhir. Awwal means first, akhir means last, and then there is zahir and there is batin, which means outer and inner. Now, this is a photograph. Again, I will not go too much in technical, but what is this showing is the whole universe in terms of temperature. So there is energy everywhere in the whole universe. And then this energy of this universe we can distinguish it in two parts. We can say there is potential energy or there is kinetic energy. Potential energy basically is in energy which is at rest, and kinetic energy is what is moving. Like when the planets are moving, they have kinetic energy. So this we will go again in part 2. For now, we are coming almost to the end of these slides. And here's one more slide that explains that whatever our universe is made of, the stars that we see, everything, that is just 0.4% of the reality of the universe, which is around us. So there is 71% of what we call dark energy that we don't know about. And Einstein explains that space can have its own energy. Now, this dark energy is not something we should be scared of. This dark energy is basically something that they have not discovered yet. Scientists are still researching and they don't know what it is yet, and this is why they call it dark. And the same thing applies for dark matter. And now why these things are interesting to us is because if we look again at Quran now, this expansion of the universe that we were talking about is actually mentioned in Al-Zariyat. We have built the universe, the Sama, with science, power, and wisdom, and it is we who keep expanding it. And it means it is still in the expansion process. Now it means we can learn from the Quran what is happening in the creation. And some people say, why is the Quran only showing what have already been discovered? What about what have not yet happened? So let us look at what does the Quran say for that. The Quran is saying this is the day when we will roll up the universe, the sama, as a writer rolls up a scroll. Now let's stop here. What does this mean? Anyone can understand how we roll a scroll. It's like a paper. Like this paper, it was rolled and now it looks like a cone. We can play with this, you can look into that. And this is a very simple description of how the universe will end. And scientists are still researching. We are not saying they are wrong. I'm myself part of the scientific community, but we need to work hard to find out by science what is going to really happen. And these are theories that show the geometry of the universe. And the one that is most successful today is the last one that shows it is as if the universe is flat. It's like a paper, which makes sense that one day it will be rolled up like a scroll. And as I said, we are coming to the end of this presentation. Here is some latest data. As I said, the dark matter, we don't know yet what it is. It has not been detected in the past, but according to this information from the start of this year, Hubble has detected dark matter. So this is very good news because it means whatever science, the more they discover, the more we will be able to appreciate what is in the Quran. And these are just some pictures of black hole that again was taken very recently by the scientific community. And the Quran again in the Al-Zariyat speak about pathways. Again, this is the same picture, and the Quran in Al-Ma'arij is speaking about gateways of ascension. Actually, the whole surah Ma'arij, that's what it means, gateways of ascension. And we would like to be grateful to all these research centers that produce these data, especially NASA, from which we took these pictures. We would like to acknowledge them. And we thank you very much. And as we are on YouTube, we would like to encourage our viewers to please comment. And if we made any mistake in the scientific fact, we encourage you to please correct us in the comment. We are welcome to your comments, to any correction, and watch out for the part 2 that will happen soon again on this channel. So thank you very much. This will be what we will cover in part 2, and for today we will stop here. So thank you very much once again.